It's a time for pick it from China. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It's awesome that you're tuning in, because in this video we have something pretty damn awesome to show you. So this is the game player HDMI, and this thing comes with many names because that's the most confusing freaking thing when you're looking at devices on AliExpress. But it comes with some interesting specifications, but also when it comes to the things it can do. This thing, first of all, is based on Android. So with Android we're going to get some issues, but also we're going to get some new things that we didn't see before with cheap handhelds. Built-in 9 simulators, 4.0-inch HD screen, supports multiplayer, supports TV out, and then we're going to get the rocker 360 degrees. We can expand it with an TF card, and we're having support for Bluetooth with 4 controllers. But let's take a close look at the product specifications. But there was something very interesting. So first of all, let's talk about the model. It's called the A380. And this is also known when you're looking at the first generation with OpenDingus devices. So maybe this is more like a revisiting. They're having a 5V 2A needed for basically charging the device. Screen size 4.0, has a resolution of 480 by 800 in IPS. Then we're going to get battery capacity 3000 mAh. And we can support up to only 32G or gigabyte? What? That is really old school. Okay, so let's open it up and just see what we're going to get inside the box itself. The way it packed it up is very nice, and the handheld feels very heavy. Okay, so here we're going to get, of course, the very nice, it's the glossy deluxe toilet paper manual with some explanation. Let's see if there's any English. Yes, there is, with some basic explanation how the system works. Most of the time it's freaking rubbish. Then we're going to get a Type-C for charging, so finally they're using Type-C, and we're going to get a very nice protection bag. Feels nice. The GameMax, but nevertheless, then we're going to get this quality certificate. Okay, that's it. There's nothing else, and there is no charger. We can use an old school phone charger, but still, there is no freaking charger. Alright, so how heavy is this device? Let's take a close look at it. So it weighs 187 grams. That is not a lot. And what I do like about it, that it feels very sturdy. Very nice. I think it even smells nice. Yeah. Okay, so first of all, I already mentioned it's a very nice construction. It's fully made of plastic. It's going to be plastic fantastic to the maximum level. And yeah, it's a really weird name, but nevertheless this thing called the A380. I don't know where it came from. Out of the sky, this thing dropped on AliExpress. Here we're going to get volume control, plus and minus. We're going to get 2 joysticks similar to the Nintendo Switch, even with the click beneath it. Then we're going to get a D-pad. Don't know if this thing is going to play very well. Then we're going to get A, B, X, Y. So at the top we're going to get the shoulder buttons, 4 of them. All are micro switches. But I can already tell you, when you try to play, they are very easy to reach, but is this comfortable? I don't know. Select and start are over here, very weirdly positioned. At the front we're going to get 2 speakers for stereo sound. Let's remove this piece of plastic or the screen protector. And yeah, at the top we're going to get the on and off. We're going to Type-C for charging and the HDMI out, and here we're going to get the reset. But when it comes to a handheld like this is nothing new. We have seen it before, devices, Android devices in a handheld form factor. But there are some differences here, and no, it doesn't have a touchscreen. Most of these Chinese handhelds doesn't have this, with let's say an exception of a couple of them, but most of the time those are very expensive. But maybe in the future we will see some other devices that can be very interesting. So when the system has been booted up, it takes around a minute or so. It's like going back into time when using Windows XP, you know. But there's not a lot of stuff you can do. So it's like a very basic layout. It's more like a launcher they created for this handheld. So booting up here, you can change up some things like the brightness. You can see this thing is an IPS display indeed. It looks very nice, and I'm very pleased with the result. Okay, key tune can be shut down. Holy shit, that is horrible. But then there were titles, a weird thing like we can have the off-screen settings, always 60/30s, system information. You can see it's a very new operating system because the system has been released just a couple of weeks ago. But overall, this is what you're going to get with that option. It plays a lot of 8-bit, 6-bit stuff. It's not really fancy in my opinion. But let's try some games. Let's see how the PlayStation Portable and N64 runs. And by pressing the reset button, it brings you to the special menu where we can go back to the main menu and we can make a quick load and quick save. And this is a really cool feature. We're having like save states over here. Let's see how many of them. 10 of them. So basically every single game have an option to have save slots of them. Restart, resume. We can edit the controls and we can go back to the main menu. So I just wanted to point out, let's try this game. The audio is really good. Sadly, we cannot change out the aspect ratio. But what I like about this, there is a slightly bass touch to it. There's audio speakers. And you can hear like all the sound effects, even the flame, stuff you don't hear on many handhelds. So I'm curious how good the D-pad is. So the D-pad is very responsive. But sadly, there is no way of having the option to go back with the original aspect ratio. You're stuck with this freaking display, and there's a little bit of bummer that they messed it up. Okay, and great test of course, Sega Mega Drive or Genesis for the US watchers. Let's see, how does it sound? Oh. Oh boy, this is not like it should be. See, and the weird thing is, like, when you're looking at emulators on Android, there are like superb emulators out there that runs the game perfectly. I don't know where they mapped the... Oh man, they completely messed it up with button mapping. Take consideration with N64, it will always be a mixed bag. I just want to try a basic game, launch game, that most of these systems can run, but I can already hear like stuttering, stuff like that. But sometimes we're lucky and we can actually play an N64 game, so that's pretty cool. But if you want to play A380 or GoldenEye, stuff like that, the more demanding games, you will see a lot of problems, glitching, stuttering. It's going to be like freaking a nightmare. But Lamborghini Racing seems to be running just fine. Alright, so next up, PlayStation Portable. And let's try this game, Soul Calibur.
Only the strongest will be chosen. Wallow in despair.
And I'm curious how good the gameplay will be. You can already see stuttering, so it struggles big time to keeping up with the FPS. If you can live with gameplay like this, it's all fine, but... Alright, so but we reached the point now that we have a lot of handhelds like this one that runs PlayStation 1 just fine. It's really cool to play this old school Destruction Derby game. It's, by the way, my first game that I ever had for the PlayStation 1, and still up to today, it's so much fun to play. Oh crap. But I absolutely suck at it. That's a fact. Ugh. And all the buttons are just completely messed up. I can tell you that, like, we need to do some remapping of the buttons. Okay guys, so let's take a close look at the specs. It's time for the wicked nerdy time. Display 4-inch IPS with a resolution of 480 by 800. It is a CPU that is a Rockchip 3000 128 quad core that runs on 1.2 GHz. It only has 512 MB DDR2 RAM, then having memory 2 GB, and I mean like the storage, The CF storage is 32 gigabytes, Android version 6, which is very old. Then we're going to get 3000 mAh battery with 4 hours of gameplay depending on the brightness. But what I find quite interesting that we can switch to the open source. So basically what we can do over here is going back to the backend or the original Android software, where we can basically mess around with it. And if this isn't a very positive thing, don't know, something you need to decide for yourself. I think it's like a fun thing, but take consideration these things always run on a very old Android, and it's highly possible a lot of stuff will not run. And the interface you're seeing, so far I know it's completely locked and there's nothing you can really change about it. If something is wrong or you just want to add, let's say, new games to it. So basically this is what you're going to get when it's booted up. It took quite some time, but you can see here we have like the PPSSPP Gold. They are using that. That's pretty naughty because that is, so far I know, the paid version. Over here we're going to get all the settings for the machine. Here having battery life, so I can check some, let's say, background information when it comes to the device itself. So something isn't a lie, and that is the HDMI, because it seems to be working perfectly and it works plug and play. Connect yourself some Bluetooth controllers and you have yourself a retro gaming beast. When you want to play a game, of course, the display itself doesn't work anymore. Okay, so let's try a game. I completely forgot I messed up the button layout. Jin Kazama versus Paul. With his stupid hair. Okay.
Round 1. Fight.
Oh boy. But take consideration that PlayStation 1 runs on a lot of different devices. But as you can see, it works very well. So a fun fact is that if you want to switch between the monitor and the handheld itself, you can do this fairly easily. And I must say that is something I don't see very often. Most of the time the system goes completely nuts or it freezes. So this, let's say, give them extra credits for this. So what do I think of this device itself? So when you're looking at the build quality, it's quite nice. I think it's a pretty damn solid handheld. It's plastic fantastic, it got some amazing audio, I think one of the best. You don't see this very often with these handhelds. Most of the time you're going to get, let's say, basic mono sound, or the speakers are not that great, but this sounds in every single way perfect. Beautiful display, the controls are not bad at all. Yeah, only it's running on old Android 6 and it's very limited when it comes to, let's say, messing around with the interface so far I know. Let me know in the comments what you think of this. I want to thank you for watching. Consider subscribing, hit that little bell to become one of the Wicked family, and I will see you in the next video.